Welcome, legends. This is News and Rings, bringing you nonstop WWE news, match results, and inside scoops. Hit subscribe and let's dive straight in. Dwayne "Dog" Chapman became one of the most recognizable figures in American reality television because of his fearless approach to bounty hunting and his larger-than-life personality. But behind the sunglasses, leather vest, and tough persona existed a man shaped by hardship, complicated family history, self-reflection, and a lifelong search for redemption. His journey was never linear. It was filled with love, loss, rebuilding, and determination. From a childhood marked by struggle to a career spent helping people rebuild their own lives, Chapman's story reveals not just the making of a bounty hunter, but the evolution of a man learning to understand himself. His path shows how resilience can come from pain and how every challenge can reshape a person's purpose and strength. Early life and emotional foundations. Dwayne Chapman's childhood set the tone for much of his future. Growing up in a strict and intense household, he learned early how fear and discipline can shape behavior. While his family valued hard work and structure, affection was not always easy to find. This lack of emotional warmth left Chapman searching for belonging and validation from a young age. His mother tried to create peace at home, offering encouragement and faith, but tension still lingered. As he grew older, Chapman struggled to balance loyalty to family with his desire for independence. The emotional wounds of childhood did not disappear, they traveled with him, influencing his decisions and the kinds of relationships he formed. Yet it was these same experiences that later allowed him to deeply understand others who felt lost or broken. His empathy, which became a defining trait in his work, was rooted in the pain he once carried silently. Breaking away in the search for identity. In his teenage years, Chapman sought freedom outside the structure of his home. This search led him into rough environments where survival was valued more than stability. Though these experiences were difficult, they taught him resourcefulness, courage, and how to read people quickly, skills that would eventually define his professional life. However, this period also came with consequences. Chapman began to understand the difference between who he was and who he wanted to be. The struggle between belonging and self-direction shaped him deeply. Mistakes from this time became lessons rather than labels. Even when circumstances challenged him, he remained resilient and open to change. This era of trial helped him begin the lifelong process of shaping a new identity, one grounded not just in toughness but also in reflection and growth. It marked the beginning of his journey toward becoming someone who would eventually guide others through their own turning points, rediscovering purpose and a new path forward. The turning point in Chapman's life came when he began to understand responsibility, accountability, and personal transformation. Instead of allowing his past to define him, he chose to use it as motivation to build a better future. His experiences gave him insight into how easily people can take the wrong path and how important second chances can be. Chapman entered the field of bounty hunting with the goal of helping others find the opportunity to change, just as he had. He believed that compassion could exist even in difficult work, and that guiding someone back to stability was as valuable as enforcing the law. Over time, he developed a reputation not only for his bravery, but for his ability to talk to people with honesty, patience, and understanding. His work was more than physical pursuit. It became emotional and human, rooted in the belief that redemption is always possible. Family, relationships, and personal growth family was a central part of Chapman's life, though it came with challenges. His marriages and relationships reflected both his desire for connection and the lingering emotional lessons from his youth. Through love, parenthood, and partnership, he experienced joy and heartbreak, but also growth. Chapman learned that relationships require vulnerability, something that did not come naturally to him at first. Over time, he worked to communicate more openly and build stronger bonds with loved ones. While his public life often overshadowed his private moments, those close to him saw a man constantly striving to be better for the people he cared about. His family experiences deepened his empathy and helped shape his work. They reminded him that strength is not only found in toughness, but also in the willingness to change, apologize, and try again. His personal journey was as important as his professional one. Rise to public recognition. Chapman's rise to public recognition came when his unique approach to bounty hunting gained the attention of television producers. He combined determination with emotional insight, turning each case into more than just a capture. This approach made him compelling to watch and relatable to audiences. When his television series began, viewers were drawn not only to the intense situations but to the heart behind them. Chapman spoke openly with those he arrested, offering encouragement, guidance, and second chances. He emphasized accountability paired with compassion, creating a different perspective on justice. His show became a cultural phenomenon, and soon his name was known around the world. Despite the challenges of fame, Chapman continued to approach his work with sincerity. What set him apart was not celebrity, but his unwavering belief that every person has the capacity to change, no matter their past. Challenges behind the camera. The success of reality television brought new pressures to Chapman's life. Fame amplified every decision, making personal struggles harder to navigate privately. Balancing public expectations with personal responsibilities became a challenge. While the world saw strength, Chapman often carried emotional weight behind the scenes. He faced criticism, personal difficulties, and the strain of constantly being in the public eye. Yet through these experiences, he continued to grow. He learned to rely more on communication, self-awareness, and emotional resilience. The challenges did not diminish him, they shaped him. They reminded him that even those who seem strong need support at times. These years taught him the importance of grounding himself in family, faith, and purpose. Chapman continued his work not because it was easy, but because it aligned with who he had worked so hard to become. Legacy of redemption and humanity. Dwayne Dog. Chapman's legacy is defined by more than his work on television or his reputation as a bounty hunter. His story is about transformation, choosing not to be shaped by hardship but to grow from it. He showed that strength is not about being unbreakable, but about continuing to stand, rebuild, and care. His empathy, resilience, and commitment to helping others reflect the core of who he became. He created a path where justice and compassion existed together, proving that second chances have power. Chapman's life encourages others to believe that change is always possible, healing is ongoing, and purpose can be found even in the most difficult circumstances. His journey is a reminder that every person has a story, every story has meaning, and every life has the capacity for redemption.